million-dollar secret most traders mispicture this. You deposit $100 into your trading account, and suddenly, your mind is racing with dreams of turning it into $1 million. You're imagining doubling your money by next week, hitting $1,000 in a month, and maybe even quitting your job to trade from a yacht. Sound familiar? I was there too, staring at my charts, heart pounding, thinking every price spike was my ticket to riches. But here's the cold, hard truth. That get-rich-quick fantasy is the exact reason most traders fail. The secret to turning $100 into $1 million isn't a secret indicator, a hot tip, or a lucky streak. It's a mindset, a way of thinking that every millionaire trader lives by, yet 99% of beginners completely ignore. When I started trading, I was obsessed with quick wins, chasing every candlestick like it was my last chance. I lost money, sleep, and confidence. Then I discovered the compounding mindset, and it changed everything. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the mental framework that transformed me from a reckless newbie to a disciplined trader. This isn't just about trading, it's about building wealth, freedom, and a life you love. One small, smart step at a time. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll see your $100 account in a whole new light. The get-rich-quick trap. And why it destroys traders. Let's start with the biggest mistake traders make. The get-rich-quick mindset. When you deposit that $100, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking it's not enough to matter, so you might as well swing for the fences. I did this early on. I'd risk half my account on a single trade, thinking if I'd double it, I'm halfway to $200. But here's what I learned the hard way. That mindset is a one-way ticket to blowing your account. Most traders fail because they're chasing speed, not strategy. They see $100 as pocket change, something they can afford to lose, so they take reckless risks, overtrade, and jump into setups that aren't even close to perfect. I remember my first big loss, $50 gone in one trade because I thought I could feel the market's direction. My stomach sank, not just because of the money, but because I realized I was gambling, not trading. The compounding mindset flips this entire approach upside down. It's not about how fast you can grow your account. It's about how consistently you can protect it and let it grow over time. It's about seeing that $100 is a seed, not a lottery ticket. You don't burn the seed. You plant it, nurture it, and give it time to grow into something massive. This mindset isn't just what saved my trading career, it's what built fortunes for legends like Warren Buffett, who turned small investments into billions, and Jesse Livermore, who dominated the markets through disciplined patience. It's not glamorous, but it's the only path to real wealth, the magic of compounding. Small steps to massive results. The compounding mindset is built on one core principle. Slow, steady, strategic growth beats fast. Reckless gains every single time. It's rooted in patience, discipline, and a long-term vision that most traders lack. Let's break down the math to show you why this matters. Imagine you grow your $100 account by just 5% a week. That's $5 in profit, hardly life-changing, right? Most traders would laugh at that, chasing 50% gains in a single trade instead. But here's where it gets wild. At 5% weekly growth, compounded consistently, your $100 becomes $10,000 in under 5 years. Keep that same discipline with bigger capital, and the numbers explode. $100,000, $500,000, even millions over time. I remember the first time I plugged these numbers into a compounding calculator. I was sitting at my desk, jaw dropped, realizing that the key wasn't making a fortune overnight. It was making small, repeatable gains week after week. This isn't just theory. It's math that works across industries. Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire by doubling his money every week. He did it by averaging 20% annual returns over decades. In trading, the same principle applies. But the timeline can be even faster if you stay disciplined. The catch:
Yes.
you have to resist the urge to sabotage yourself with impulsive trades or oversized risks. That's where most traders fall apart. They can't stick to the plan long enough to let the math do its work. treating every dollar like it's a million here's a mindset shift that changed how I trade. How you treat your $100 account is exactly how you'll treat a $100,000 account. If you're reckless with small money, you'll be reckless with big money. Millionaire traders don't see $100 as nothing. They see it as the foundation of their empire. When I started, I thought small accounts were just for practice, a sandbox to mess around in until I had real money. It was dead wrong. Every trade you take, even with $100, is training your brain. Overtrade now, and you'll overtrade later. Risk 50% on a single trade now, and you'll do the same with a bigger account. The compounding mindset forces you to respect every dollar like it's your lifeline, because it is. One of my early mentors, a grizzled trader who'd been in the game for 20 years, drilled this into me. He said, if you can't grow $100 without blowing it, you'll never grow $1 million. That hit me like a ton of bricks. It made me rethink every trade, every risk, every impulsive click. I started treating my tiny account like it was a hedge fund. I set strict risk limits, never more than 2% per trade. I waited for setups that matched my plan perfectly. And I stopped chasing the dopamine hit of quick wins. That shift didn't just save my account, it built my confidence. It made me realize that every small trade was a brick in the fortress of my future wealth. The legend of Richard Dennis. Discipline over luck to drive this home. Let's talk about Richard Dennis, one of the most legendary traders in history. The 1970s, he started with just $1,600, barely more than a month's rent for some of us. Over the next decade, he turned it into hundreds of millions. How? Not by gambling or chasing quick wins. Dennis built his fortune with a disciplined, rule-based system that he followed religiously. He didn't care about hitting jackpots. He cared about making high-probability trades, day after day, year after year. His story isn't about luck, it's about relentless discipline. I remember reading about him early in my trading journey, feeling both inspired and overwhelmed. I thought, he had $1,600. I only have $100. But then I realized the amount doesn't matter, the mindset does. Whether you're starting with $100 or $10,000, the principle is the same. Protect your capital, grow it steadily, and let compounding work its magic. Dennis's story taught me that trading isn't about being a genius, it's about being consistent. Had a system, stuck to it, and let time do the heavy lifting. That's the blueprint for turning a small account into something life-changing. And it's a blueprint anyone can follow with the right mindset. Ruthless patience. It's the art of doing nothing now. Let's dive into one of the hardest parts of the compounding mindset. Ruthless patience. Most traders think patience is holding a trade for an extra 5 minutes or sitting through a small pullback. That's not patience, that's just hesitation. Ruthless patience is standing in front of a screaming market, watching price dance, inches from your perfect entry, and still refusing to act unless every condition is met. It's active waiting, a deliberate choice to protect your capital until the odds are stacked in your favor. I'll never forget a story I heard about a trader in 2003. He had a strict rule. It's only 4 trades a month, no exceptions, 1 month. He waited 23 days without placing a single trade. On day 24, his setup appeared. He executed perfectly and made more in that one trade than most traders made all month. His secret? He knew the market would still be there tomorrow, so why rush? Today, that's ruthless patience, and it's what separates the pros from the amateurs. Early in my trading, I struggled with this. I'd jump into trades because I was bored or felt like I had to do something. Every premature entry cost me money and chipped away at my confidence. It wasn't until I started treating patience as a skill, not a personality trait, that things changed. I began to see waiting as a victory, not a failure. Training your patience muscle. Practical steps patience isn't something you're born with, it's a muscle you train. When I started, my hands would itch to click buy every time the market moved. My brain screamed, "You're missing out." So I developed a system to tame that urge. First, I wrote down my trading plan in detail. Specific setups, entry criteria, risk-reward ratios. If a trade didn't check every box, I walked away. It felt like torture at first watching potential winners pass by while I did nothing. But over time, I realized those missed trades weren't losses, they were wins. Ow. By not trading, I was protecting my capital and my mental clarity. Here's a practical exercise I used. Every day, I'd review my charts and mark setups that looked tempting but didn't fit my plan. Then I'd track how they played out. Most of the time they failed or barely broke even. That exercise built my confidence in waiting. Another trick, set a daily note or a goal. Tell yourself, if I don't see a perfect setup today, my win is staying out of the market. It sounds simple, but it rewires your brain to value discipline over action. Try this for a week, and you'll be amazed at how much clearer your trading decisions become. Patience isn't passive, it's a superpower that keeps you in control. Emotional detachment, trading without ego. Another cornerstone of the compounding mindset is emotional detachment. The market doesn't care about your feelings, your dreams, or your need to be right. It's a mirror that reflects your discipline or lack of it. Most traders lose because they tie their emotions to every trade. A loss feels like a personal attack. A win feels like proof they're a genius. I was that trader once, celebrating every profit like I'd cracked the code, then spiraling into self-doubt after a loss. It was exhausting. My turning point came when I realized no single trade defines you. Your job isn't to be right, it's to follow your plan. I knew a trader in 2008 who made $400,000 shorting bank stocks during the financial crisis. His strategy was rock solid, his timing impeccable. But one bad day cost him $50,000 and he lost control. He started revenge trading, chasing losses, and wiped out all his profits in 3 months. His mistake? He let one loss define him. Emotional. Detachment means accepting losses as part of the game, like a chef tossing out a spoiled ingredient. It's not personal, it's just business. When you detach, you stop trading to prove something and start trading to execute. How to build emotional. Detachment here is how I train myself to stay detached. And you can too. First, define your risk before every trade. If I was okay losing $20 on a $100 account, I accepted that loss before clicking buy. When it happened, it wasn't a shock, it was the plan playing out. Second, focus on the next trade, not the last one. Win or lose, the last trade is history. Dwelling on it clouds your judgment. Third, keep your position sizes small enough that no single loss can rattle you. If you're sweating every tick, you're risking too much. Early on, I made the mistake of risking 10% of my account on a single trade. Every price movement felt like a heart attack. When I cut my risk to 2%, trading became calmer, clearer, and more profitable. Another tip, treat your trades like experiments. Each one is a test of your system, not your worth. I started journaling every trade, noting why I entered, what happened, and how I felt. Seeing losses as data, not failures, helped me stay objective. One of my favorite quotes from a veteran trader is, "I don't trade to feel good. I trade to follow the math." That mindset turned his $2,000 into $3 million over 6 years. Detachment isn't about being cold. It's about being in control. Relentless. Adaptation. Evolving with the market, the final piece of the compounding mindset is relentless adaptation. Markets aren't static, they're living, breathing beasts that evolve constantly. Trends fade, volatility spikes, patterns break. The traders who thrive don't cling to one strategy forever, adapt. In 2008, when the financial crisis hit, traders who stuck to long-term buy-and-hold strategies got crushed. The ones who switched to short-term trades and tight risk control made millions. I learned this the hard way early on. I had a strategy that worked like a charm for 6 months until it didn't. The market shifted, and I kept forcing the same trades, losing money and confidence. And I realized the market doesn't owe me anything. If I want to win, I have to move with it. Adaptation isn't about abandoning discipline, it's about tweaking your approach to fit the market's mood. It's like a surfer adjusting to the waves. You don't fight the ocean, you ride it. For example, during high volatility periods, I cut my position sizes and focused on quick scalps. During quiet markets, I waited longer for bigger moves. That flexibility kept me profitable while others got wiped out, making adaptation a habit. Practical strategies to make adaptation a habit. Treat every market condition as a teacher. Trending markets teach you momentum. Ranging markets teach you patience. Choppy markets teach you risk control. I started testing new strategies before. I needed them, trying different time frames, adjusting my risk, experimenting with new setups. It felt uncomfortable, but it kept me ahead of the curve. A trader I admire, Marty Schwartz, aka Pitbull, stayed profitable for decades because he never stopped evolving. When stock index futures changed, he studied new markets and adjusted his risk profile. That's why he's a legend. Adaptation also means adjusting to yourself. Some days, you're sharp and focused. Others, you're tired or distracted. The adaptive trader scales back or steps away when they're not at their best. I've had days where I shut my platform off because I knew my head wasn't in the game. It's not weakness, it's strength. Here's a practical tip. Every month, review your trades and ask, is my strategy still working in this market? If not, tweak it. Test one variable at a time, maybe a new time frame or a tighter stop loss. Keep what works, ditch what doesn't. This constant evolution ensures you're always ready for the next market shift. The psychological battle. Overcoming common trader struggles. Trading isn't just about charts, it's a psychological battle. One of the biggest struggles is dealing with the fear of missing out, FOMO. You see a stock spiking on social media, or a friend brags about doubling their account, and suddenly you feel like you're falling behind. I've been there, jumping into trades just because everyone else was. 9 times out of 10, I lost money. The compounding mindset helps you ignore the noise. It's about building your own journey at your own pace. Another struggle is revenge trading. After a loss, your brain screams, "Get it back now." I've once lost $30 on a bad trade and immediately doubled my risk on the next one to make it back. Spoiler, I lost that too. The market punishes emotional decisions every time. To combat this, I started taking a 10-minute break after every loss. I'd step away, breathe, and reset. It's amazing how a short pause can stop you from spiraling. Another common trap is comparing yourself to others. Social media is full of traders flaunting big wins, but you don't see their blown accounts or sleepless nights. The compounding mindset keeps your eyes on your own path. You're not racing against anyone. You're building your own empire. One disciplined trade at a time. Historical lessons. Learning from trading legends. History is full of traders who embody the compounding mindset. Take Paul Tudor Jones, who turned a small account into a fortune by mastering risk control. In the 1987 crash, while others panicked, he shorted the market with precision, making millions. His secret? He didn't chase every move. He waited. For setups with massive probability, or consider Ed Sakota, a pioneer of trend-following systems. He started with modest capital and built a fortune by sticking to a disciplined strategy, even during losing streaks. These traders weren't smarter than you or me. They were more disciplined. They treated losses as tuition, not failures. They adapted to changing markets without losing their core principles. Studying their stories gave me a roadmap when I felt lost. It reminded me that trading isn't about being a hero, it's about being consistent, patient, and adaptable. If they could start small and build empires, so can you. The key is to focus on the process, not the prize. Practical exercise. Building your compounding plan. Let's get practical. If you want to adopt the compounding mindset, you need a plan. Here's an exercise I use to transform my trading. First, define your weekly goal. Aim for 3 to 5% growth on your $100 account. That's $3, $5 per week, small but sustainable. Second, set a risk limit. Never risk more than 2% per trade on $100. That's $2 per trade. Third, identify 2 to 3 high probability setups that fit your strategy, maybe a breakout with strong volume or a trend reversal with confirmation. Write down the exact criteria for entry, exit, and risk-reward ratio. Aim for at least 1 to 2. Fourth, track every trade in a journal. Note what worked, what didn't, and how you felt. Finally, review your performance weekly. Are you sticking to your plan? Are you overtrading? Are you adapting to market conditions? This exercise forces you to treat trading like a business, not a casino. When I started doing this, my win rate improved, my stress dropped, and my account started growing steadily. It's not sexy, but it works. The long game. Your $100 is your greatest asset. Here's the bottom line. Turning $100 into $1 million isn't about luck, genius, or a secret system. It's about mastering the compounding mindset discipline, ruthless patience, emotional detachment, and relentless adaptation. These aren't just trading skills, they're life skills. They've helped me not just in trading, but in building a business, managing stress, and chasing my goals. When I started, I saw my $100 account as a limitation. Now I see it as my greatest asset. It forced me to learn discipline before I had big money on the line. It taught me to respect every dollar, to wait for the perfect setup, to stay calm under pressure, and to evolve with the market. If you can master these with $100, you're not just building an account, you're building the mental foundation for millions. Think of it like learning to drive in an old beat-up car. If you can handle that, you're ready for a Ferrari. $100 account is your training ground. Treat it with respect, and it will reward you beyond your wildest dreams. Overcoming setbacks, the resilience factor. Setbacks are inevitable in trading. You'll have losing streaks, bad days, even bad months. The compounding mindset equips you to handle them. Early in my journey, I hit a rough patch, 3 losing trades in a row, wiped out 15% of my account. I was ready to quit. But then I remembered something a mentor told me. Losses are just the market testing your resolve. Instead of panicking, I stepped back, reviewed my trades, and realized I deviated from my plan. I tightened my discipline, stuck to my 2% risk rule, and slowly clawed my way back. That experience taught me resilience, the ability to bounce back without losing faith in your process. Resilience isn't about never losing. It's about never letting a loss break you. Another trader I know faced a 20% drawdown during a volatile market. Instead of doubling down, he cut his position sizes and focused on high probability setups. Within 2 months, he was back in the green. The lesson? Losses are temporary if you stay disciplined. The compounding mindset turns setbacks into stepping stones. The power of community. Learning from others. One thing that accelerated my growth was surrounding myself with other traders who shared the compounding mindset. I joined online forums, attended trading meets, and even found a mentor who'd been trading for decades. Their stories, mistakes, and successes gave me perspective. One trader I met started with $500 and turned it into $50,000 in 3 years, not by taking big risks. Hearing how he navigated tough markets gave me confidence to keep going. YouTube is an amazing place to build this community. In the comments, you'll find traders at every level sharing their journeys. Engage with them, ask questions, share your wins and losses. When I started commenting on trading videos, I was amazed at how much I learned from others' experiences. It's like having a global trading floor at your fingertips. The compounding mindset thrives in a community where discipline and learning are celebrated. So let's build that together. Call to action. Join the compounding revolution. If this video lit a fire under you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss more trading psychology insights. I pour my heart into these videos because I've been where you are, frustrated, chasing quick wins and learning the hard way. This channel is about cutting through the noise and giving you the tools to build real wealth. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest mindset shift you've made in your trading journey, and how did it change your results? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your stories. If you want to dive deeper, check out the playlist link below for more videos on trading psychology and strategy. Let's build this community of disciplined, patient, adaptive traders together. Share this video with one person who needs to hear it, and let's start a compounding revolution. See you in the next video.